Royal fans in awe. Princess Leonor marries Christian, live ceremony highlights. She walked in. The crowd gasped. He waited. And when they kissed, Spain's heart stopped. The cameras captured the moment everyone had whispered about. The moment Spain both held its breath and exhaled. Princess Leonor, heir to the Spanish throne, has married Christian Anderson, and the live ceremony left royal fans across the globe in awe. From the first glance down the aisle to the whispered vow at the altar, this was more than a wedding. It was a message, a promise, a turning point. Today we relive each highlight, each reaction, each emotion of this historic union. They entered separately, she in a sleek ivory gown, no heavy train, no towering crown. Just radiance. He in crisp formal attire, waiting without show, waiting without spectacle. When she reached him, she took his hand, steady. He looked at her, eyes softened. And in that meeting, the cameras caught something rare, a gasp from the audience, not out of obligation, but out of wonder. Inside the cathedral, guests were not just dignitaries, they were witnesses to something new. Faces that knew protocol sat beside faces who knew only her story. There was tension in the air, yes, but also awe. As Leonor and Christian exchanged vows, many in the pews held their breath. Some eyes glistened, some heads bowed, some gasped, and when the rings were placed, and the archbishop pronounced them husband and wife, applause erupted. From within the sacred hall, from the crowd outside, from viewers watching live, tweeting, posting, crying. That reaction is at the heart of this ceremony's power. Because the fans didn't just watch. They felt, they connected, they believed. We'll revisit the key moments. The walk, the vows, the kiss, the exit, the balcony appearance, the reception promise, and the reactions across Spain and the world that made this wedding not just royal, but resonant. But first, how did we arrive here? Leonor has long been groomed for the throne. From her earliest public appearances to her military training, every step was measured. The people watched her grow. They saw her speak, represent Spain abroad, carry the weight of expectations. But they rarely saw her heart. Christian was the unknown, not royal, not Spanish. That made the whispers louder. He doesn't belong. He'll never fit. But whispers turned to curiosity. Curiosity to support. Because something about their union felt real. When they first appeared together publicly, the press questioned motive, protocol, compatibility. But fans pushed back. They saw shared passion for climate, diplomacy, service. They saw glances, gestures, tenderness. They believed. So when the wedding was announced, anticipation was massive. Speculation ran wild. Would he be titled? Would she bend tradition? Would the family object? Would Spain accept? So when the doors opened and Leonor stepped forward, many felt relief. And surprise. Because this was not a surrender to expectation. This was a bold collaboration. Now, we'll follow the sequence of highlights, and between each, we'll pause to consider the ripples they left across Spain, Europe, and royal watchers everywhere. Leonor walked alone. No escort. No grand procession. The soft string ensemble played. The light filtered through stained glass. Her face was calm, but behind her eyes, you could see resolve. The crowd rose. Not because they were told. Because they felt it. Reactions flooded social media immediately. She's showing strength. So modern. So brave. I've never seen her look more human. Why did she choose that entrance? To signal independence. To recalibrate tradition. To own the moment. Christian waited in silence. Leonor approached. Their eyes met. And in that meeting, the distance between crown and commoner collapsed. He bowed his head. She steadied him with a soft touch. That brief moment registered across screens and hearts. It said, "We belong together, regardless." In that silence, Madrid's pulse quickened. They spoke of trust, of sacrifice, of love not despite obligation, but as its complement. Leonor promised to lead with empathy. Christian vowed to protect her freedom. The crowd listened. Some lips trembled. Some glances fell to hands clasped. No filler. No vague language. Just truth. He leaned in. She did not hesitate. It was not visual spectacle, it was quiet intensity. The kiss lasted longer than many royal kisses. Then applause. Quiet at first, then growing. Some stood, some cried, some cheered so loud their voices cracked. That applause inside the cathedral was a moment people said they'll never forget. Instead of grand carriage, they walked through Plaza de la Armeria, to adoring crowds. No barricades, just cheers, hands outstretched. People wept, phones aloft, children cheered, elderly wept. Cameras caught a mother lifting her child to see Leonor. Another man dropped to his knees. Strangers embraced. That walk was not protocol. It was communion. On the palace balcony, Leonor and Christian appeared. She addressed the crowd unprepared. No speech, just gratitude, eyes bright, voice firm. She said, "Thank you for believing." Christian nodded, looking at her. The crowd roared again. That unscripted moment shifted narrative. This wasn't just about crown or ceremony. It was about connection. Later, at the reception, Leonor raised a toast not to monarchy, but to Spain's people. Christian stood by her, pride visible. There were tears. There was laughter. There was unity in a way few royal events ever achieve. A leaked photo, Leonor barefoot, Christian holding her shoe, walking down a palace corridor. No guards, no media, just the two of them. That image trended instantly. Fans called it realness in royalty. Between every highlight, fans reacted live. In Madrid's cafes, in Barcelona's squares, in Copenhagen's plazas, in New York's Royal Watchers bars. The nostalgia for royalty melted into excitement for possibility. But the story doesn't end here. What has changed since? How will this reshape Spain's monarchy? Will Christian be integrated into royal duties? Will new traditions emerge? Will young Spaniards engage more with the crown? Or will old critics hinder the new narrative? These are the questions unfolding now. For now, we remember the highlights. The moments that made people gasp. The moments that made them cry. The moments that made them believe that royalty can still captivate, not because it's distant, but because it's human. Leonor and Christian did not just marry. They rewrote expectations. They invited the people in. And Spain, awestruck, moved, changed, watched it all happen live. They captivated a nation today. And tomorrow, they may inspire one. This is not just a royal wedding highlight reel. It's a testament that in moments of truth, even crowns can feel warm to hold. Royal fans remain in awe. And history will remember.